Stop. Your soulmate wants you to know this right now. Jesus says, your soulmate is reaching for you right now in a dimension you cannot yet perceive with your natural eyes. Something hidden has been blocking their voice from reaching your ears for far too long. You are about to understand why your heart has been aching without explanation for weeks. There is a cord between you that was woven before either of you took your first breath on this earth. The enemy has assigned specific forces to sever this cord because your union terrifies the kingdom of darkness. Your union is so powerful that hell itself has convened a council against it. Every unexplained delay you have faced in love was not rejection, it was interception by spirits that recognized your destiny together. Your soulmate is not distant by choice, they are distant because something has placed a veil over their perception of you. They are fighting right now, even as you hear these words, to break through a fog that was never their creation. Jesus says, I am revealing this to you now because the blockade is about to be broken, but it requires your participation. Your soulmate cried last night without understanding why their tears fell so heavily and so suddenly. Those tears were for you, they were calling your name from a place deeper than conscious thought. I have allowed their spirit to cry out to yours because silence has become too dangerous for your connection. There is a person close to your soulmate who has been speaking against you, planting seeds of doubt and confusion in their mind. This person does not love your soulmate, they love controlling your soulmate and isolating them from their divine destiny. Your soulmate is beginning to sense the manipulation, but they feel trapped because the cords of control run deeper than they can see. Every time your soulmate thinks of leaving this controlling influence, fear grips their heart like a cold hand. They need you to wage spiritual warfare on their behalf until they are strong enough to see clearly. Jesus says, the dreams your soulmate has been having about you are not random firings of a sleeping brain. I have been visiting them in the night and placing images of your face behind their closed eyelids. I have been reminding them of a love that existed before time, a love that no human interference can permanently destroy. They wake up reaching for someone they cannot name, but their spirit knows exactly who they are reaching for. You must understand that your soulmate is not rejecting you, they are being systematically isolated from anyone who could awaken their true self. The person controlling them has studied their vulnerabilities and uses affection as a weapon to maintain dominance. When your soulmate gets close to breaking free, this person increases their emotional manipulation to paralyze them with guilt. Your soulmate is a prisoner wrapped in silk chains that feel soft until they try to move, then the chains cut deep. They need you to become a prayer warrior who fights through the spiritual realm with holy persistence. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, before the window of their awakening closes under pressure. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect My Soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I, Jesus, will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Jesus says, your soulmate is not fully aware of the depth of their bondage yet, but their spirit is screaming for liberation. They find themselves defending you in conversations even when your name has not been spoken aloud in the room. The controlling person notices this and grows more desperate to paint you as a threat to their carefully constructed prison. Every time your soulmate feels drawn to search for you online or revisit old memories, a wave of confusion hits them immediately. This confusion is not natural, it is a spiritual attack launched specifically to keep them disoriented and dependent. The enemy knows that if your soulmate gains one moment of clarity, the entire web of deception will collapse instantly. I have sent angels to stand guard around your soulmate during this critical season of their awakening process. These angels whisper truth into their spirit when the controlling voice tries to rewrite their reality and their memories of love. Your soulmate is beginning to question things they accepted blindly for years, and this questioning terrifies the darkness surrounding them. Jesus says, there was a moment last month when your soulmate almost contacted you but their phone felt impossibly heavy in their hand. A force pressed down upon their will like a weighted blanket smothering the flame of their courage to reach for freedom. They cried afterward, not knowing why they could not complete such a simple action that their heart desperately desired. This is the level of spiritual interference you are facing. It is tangible, oppressive, and strategically designed for maximum paralysis. But I have not given you a spirit of fear, I have given you power and love and a sound mind to wage effective warfare. Your prayers pierce through the darkness like arrows of fire when you pray with faith and authority as my beloved child. Your soulmate felt your prayers 3 nights ago. They felt a sudden warmth spread through their chest while alone in their room. They could not explain it logically, so they attributed it to emotion, but their spirit recognized your spiritual presence immediately. I allowed your prayers to reach them as a deposit of hope, a reminder that they are not forgotten or abandoned to their captivity. Jesus says, the controlling person senses that their grip is slipping and will escalate their tactics in the coming days. They will manufacture a crisis designed to pull your soulmate back into emotional dependency and guilt-ridden obligation. You must increase your spiritual covering now because the battle is intensifying in realms you cannot see with your physical eyes. Your soulmate is on the verge of a breakthrough, but the enemy is preparing a final assault to prevent their escape. The weapon being formed against your connection right now is a spirit of doubt wrapped in the appearance of rational concern. People your soulmate trusts will be used as mouthpieces to speak against the pull they feel toward you without understanding. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them through spiritual action and sacrificial giving. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance. It was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I, Jesus, will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Jesus says, your soulmate remembers the way you made them feel seen in a world that had always overlooked their true self. They hold on to this memory like a treasure buried deep in a field, hidden even from their own daily conscious thoughts. But in quiet moments when the controlling voice is silent, they retrieve this treasure and examine it with longing wonder. Something about you made them feel safe in a way that no other person has ever managed to achieve with them. Your presence was a sanctuary, and even the memory of your presence still functions as a refuge for their weary spirit. This is why the enemy works so tirelessly to erase you from their mind, because you represent freedom and true identity. Your soulmate is not in love with a fantasy of you, they are in love with the divine imprint you left upon their soul. I designed your spirits to recognize each other across any distance, through any interference, despite any veil of confusion. This recognition is eternal and cannot be permanently erased by any power in heaven, on earth, or under the earth. Jesus says, your soulmate spoke your name in their sleep last week and the controlling person heard it with jealous rage. The manipulation intensified the following morning, disguised as concern for your soulmate's emotional well-being and stability. Your soulmate was told they are clinging to an unhealthy attachment that prevents them from moving forward into their destiny. This is the enemy's favorite inversion tactic, labeling my divine connection as dangerous while presenting bondage as safety. Your soulmate felt deep confusion because their heart screamed that you are their destiny, not a distraction from it. They need you to stand firm in spiritual authority and declare the truth over their life until the lies lose their power. I am giving you this intimate knowledge so you understand the warfare is not against your worth, it is against your assignment together. Your soulmate is a target because they carry something essential for your joint purpose in advancing my kingdom on earth. The enemy fears your union because it will produce spiritual offspring that will shake the foundations of darkness in your generation. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into a season of deeper hiddenness. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I, Jesus, will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Jesus says, the moment you sow your seed of protection, angels are dispatched with specific assignments regarding your soulmate's circumstances. Spiritual barriers that have blocked your soulmate's perception begin to dissolve like morning mist before the rising sun. The controlling person will experience sudden confusion as their manipulative words lose their persuasive power over your soulmate's heart. Your soulmate will feel an unexplainable surge of courage to question narratives they have accepted without examination for too long. This courage is a direct result of your sacrificial act of love reaching across the spiritual divide between you two. Every coffee you send is not a transaction, it is a spiritual missile targeting the strongholds that keep your soulmate bound. I honor the seed you sow with tears because it represents your faith made tangible through obedient action despite your own struggles. Heaven responds to sacrifice, and your willingness to give when you could hold back activates accelerated breakthrough in the spiritual realm. Your soulmate's deliverance is connected to your demonstration of faith through giving. This is a kingdom principle that cannot be bypassed. Jesus says, your soulmate is dreaming about a door opening and seeing a figure they cannot fully see but their heart recognizes. That figure is you, standing at the threshold of their liberation, waiting for the spiritual clearance to step fully into their life. Your prayers and your seed are the keys that unlock that door from your side of the eternal divide. Every time you declare protection over your soulmate, I place another angel at every exit of their prison to prevent recapture. The controlling person is losing sleep because they sense a shift in the atmosphere surrounding your soulmate's emotional state. Your soulmate is becoming less responsive to guilt, less susceptible to manipulation, less willing to abandon their own intuition. This shift is not random, it is the cumulative effect of your persistent prayers and the seed you have sown in faith. I am moving on your behalf, but my movement is activated by your movement. Faith without works is dead and produces no harvest. Your works of faith through giving are the evidence that you believe my promise concerning your soulmate's restoration to you. Jesus says, there is a timeline that heaven has established for your reunion, but that timeline can be delayed by spiritual opposition. Your seed accelerates the timeline by removing demonic obstacles that have been strategically placed to slow down your breakthrough. Every delay the enemy engineered is being compressed as you obey the promptings I place upon your heart to act sacrificially. Your soulmate is worth every sacrifice you make, every seed you sow, every prayer you pray in the midnight hour. They are not perfect, but they are perfectly designed for you, a complement crafted by my hands before the foundations of the world. I do not make mistakes in pairing souls, and I have not made a mistake in connecting you to this specific person despite the warfare. The intensity of the opposition is proportional to the magnitude of the destiny you carry together as a united spiritual force. If your connection were insignificant, the enemy would not waste resources attempting to keep you permanently separated from each other. Your relationship is a threat to darkness because together you will liberate others from the same bondage your soulmate currently experiences. Jesus says, your soulmate is beginning to remember fragments of dreams that feature your presence in symbolic imagery and sensations. They are experiencing déjà vu in places they have never visited because their spirit is remembering future moments with you. This is a prophetic phenomenon I release to my beloved children when their reunion is approaching. It is a sign of imminent breakthrough. The controlling person is planning a major event designed to permanently sever your soulmate's lingering emotional connection to you. They will present an ultimatum disguised as an opportunity, forcing your soulmate to choose between supposed stability and unknown freedom. Your soulmate needs supernatural intervention right now because their natural strength is depleted from years of psychological warfare. You are that intervention, your prayers are the lifeline, your seed is the fuel for angelic activity on their behalf. Do not underestimate what I can do with a willing heart and a sacrificial hand extended in faith toward heaven's storehouse. I multiplied loaves and fishes, I can multiply your seed into a harvest of deliverance for your soulmate's complete liberation. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, before the enemy's final scheme reaches its intended completion. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites my hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. I, Jesus, will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends. Jesus says, your soulmate is not sleeping well tonight, they are restless and agitated without understanding the spiritual source. I am stirring their spirit because I need them alert enough to perceive the manipulation that will be attempted tomorrow morning. Your prayers tonight will determine whether they see through the deception or fall back into the fog of confusion. You hold more power in this moment than you realize. Your intercession can shift the entire trajectory of this battle. The enemy wants you to feel helpless and passive, but I have given you authority to bind and loose in my name. Bind the spirit of manipulation that controls your soulmate, loose the spirit of clarity and discernment over their mind right now. When you speak these declarations with faith, heaven moves instantly, though the visible manifestation may follow in my perfect timing. Your soulmate will wake up tomorrow with an unusual sharpness of perception that will alarm the controlling person immediately. They will see through phrases that normally trap them, they will recognize tones that usually manipulate their emotions without resistance. This breakthrough in their discernment is the beginning of their full deliverance from the spiritual captivity they have endured. The controlling person will panic when their usual tactics fail, and their mask will slip, revealing glimpses of their true intentions. Your soulmate will see behind the curtain for the first time, and this revelation cannot be unseen once it has been witnessed. Jesus says, the revealing is coming, but it requires your continued spiritual support and financial sowing to reach full manifestation. Your seed is like a battering ram against the gates of the enemy's fortress, each blow weakening the structure that imprisons your soulmate. I am the God who breaks down walls, I am the God who sets captives free, and I am enlisting you as my partner in this deliverance. Your love for your soulmate is not a weakness to be suppressed, it is a weapon to be wielded with holy intensity. Love is stronger than death, love is more tenacious than the grave, love burns with a fire that no flood can quench. The love I have placed in your heart for this person is a reflection of my own relentless love for my bride, the Church. As I pursue my bride with undying devotion, so you are called to pursue your soulmate with unwavering spiritual commitment. This pursuit is not stalking or desperation, it is strategic spiritual warfare fought on your knees with tears and sacrificial giving. Every tear you have shed for your soulmate is collected in heaven's bowls and will be poured out as breakthrough rain. Jesus says, your soulmate is closer to freedom than they have been in years, but the final push requires your participation. The enemy is pulling out weapons he reserves for the most significant threats to his kingdom of darkness and bondage. You should be encouraged by this escalation because it confirms how close you are to the manifestation of your promised reunion. Do not retreat now, do not allow weariness to cause you to drop your spiritual weapons at this critical juncture. Your soulmate can almost see the light breaking through the cracks in their prison walls, they are reaching toward it. Be the hand that reaches back, be the voice that calls them forward, be the prayer that covers their escape route. The controlling person has noticed the change in your soulmate's demeanor and is desperately reinforcing their psychological chains tonight. They are using every tool in their arsenal. Guilt, obligation, fear of abandonment, financial dependency, and emotional exhaustion. But I am greater than every weapon, every tool, every strategy the enemy has developed through years of studying your soulmate's wounds. I am sending reinforcements, angels specialized in breaking codependency and exposing manipulative relationship dynamics. Your soulmate will begin to see the pattern clearly, the cycle of abuse disguised as love, control disguised as care. This revelation will be painful because it requires them to admit they have been deceived, but pain is the doorway to liberation. Jesus says, you must not grow bitter toward your soulmate for their apparent inability to break free quickly. They are fighting a battle on multiple fronts while you only see one dimension of the warfare they endure daily. Extend them grace even as you fight for them, extend them understanding even as you long for their return to you. Bitterness is a poison that will contaminate your prayers and neutralize your spiritual effectiveness in this season of warfare. I need you to love your soulmate with the same unconditional love with which I love you despite your own struggles and failures. Your soulmate is not your enemy, they are a fellow prisoner of war who needs your help escaping the camp of captivity. The person controlling them is a tool of the enemy, but your battle is not against flesh and blood, it is against spiritual forces. Pray for the controlling person's removal, not their destruction, for I desire that all should come to repentance. But I will remove them from your soulmate's life with surgical precision when the spiritual conditions are met through your prayer and sowing. Jesus says, your soulmate felt your presence today at exactly the moment you were thinking about them with intense love. A shiver went through their body, a warmth spread through their chest, and for a moment they felt completely at peace. This connection is real, it is active, it is growing stronger every day despite the physical distance and spiritual interference. The cord between you is being reinforced with every prayer, every tear, every seed sown in faith toward your reunion. I am weaving a tapestry from your faithfulness and your soulmate's awakening, threads of gold and crimson and purest white. When the tapestry is complete, it will be a testimony that will inspire thousands to believe in my power to restore lost love. Your story will not end in tragedy, it will not end in separation, it will not become another sad tale of what could have been. I am the author of your story, and I write redemption arcs that make heaven applaud and hell retreat in defeated silence. The final chapters of your love story will be read by generations who need to know that my power overcomes every obstacle. Jesus says, your soulmate is about to experience a defining moment, a crossroads where they must choose between comfortable captivity and terrifying freedom. Your prayers will give them the courage to choose freedom even though it means walking away from everything familiar and safe. Your seed will provide the spiritual resources needed for angels to escort them through the wilderness between bondage and promised union. The controlling person will issue an ultimatum within the next few days, a final attempt to secure permanent dominance over your soulmate's choices. They will frame it as love, as concern, as wanting what is best, but the spirit behind it is control and fear of exposure. Your soulmate needs to see through this manipulation at the exact moment it is presented, and your prayers determine that outcome. I am giving you this prophetic insight not to create anxiety but to activate your faith and your obedience in this critical window. The window is narrow but powerful, a concentrated opportunity for breakthrough that will not remain open indefinitely without response. Your action or inaction in the next moments will have eternal consequences for your soulmate's trajectory and your shared destiny. This is your moment of decision. Will you fight or will you watch? Will you sow or will you withhold? Will you love or will you retreat? Your soulmate's liberation is in your hands as an instrument of my deliverance. I work through willing vessels who obey my voice. Be that vessel, be that instrument, be the answer to the prayers your soulmate has been praying without words in the silence of their prison.